The Brutalist. As with any review, this may contain spoilers. Happy Valentine's, everyone. The movie is okay, if not a bit underwhelming. I'll explain more in a bit, but before I do, let me give you the synopsis. The story follows László Toth, played by Adrian Brody. László is a Hungarian Jewish architect who survived the Holocaust and immigrated to the United States. Before coming to the US, László was separated from his wife and niece. Once in the US, László begins working for his cousin in Philadelphia, designing furniture. They get commissioned to renovate the library of wealthy industrialist Harrison Lee Van Buren, played by Guy Pearce. Harrison's son commissioned the project while his father was away and was hoping to surprise his father when he returned. Harrison arrived earlier than expected, and the renovation enraged Harrison, who told everyone to leave. A few years later, Harrison finds László and shows him a magazine that featured the library he built and apologized for his behavior that day. Harrison commissions a new project to be built on his property that honors his late mother. Harrison also gets his personal lawyer to expedite the migration of László's wife and niece. After years of writing letters to each other, László is finally reunited with his wife and niece. The building László designed gets off the ground and soon starts having setbacks, and other developers are brought in and start making changes to the design. László is furious with the new developer, the project is going over budget, and the final straw comes when the train carrying materials derails. The project gets cancelled. The story moves forward a few years, and László and his wife now live in New York City, where László works for an architecture firm. Harrison once again finds László and tells him to resume construction of the building. The rest of the story tells of trauma, tragedy, and violence. From the trailer, the story came across as a grand immigrant story. I'm sure it reads that way on paper, but the final product came out cold and unemotional. I find it quite hard to connect with any of the characters. The only character I found interesting was Guy Pearce's character. The following may be considered spoilers, so you've been warned. I mentioned that the story was a bit unemotional. There's a drug abuse angle, heroin I believe was a drug, throughout this film that I never felt was incorporated into the story very well. While the drug abuse was shown, the side effects or consequences did not have an impact on the story. I found that to be a little odd. Why go out of the way to show the main character abusing drugs, but not show how this affected him professionally and personally? It felt to me like the drug abuse was incorporated as a prop and a way to amplify the drama in the story without having to delve into the effects of abusing drugs. It seemed like a lost opportunity to show how an immigrant trying to better his life in America can fall into the trap of using drugs. The drug abuse also felt like it came out of nowhere. As far as I remember, there are no scenes of him buying drugs or the reason why he's even taking drugs. There's a scene of him saying that he needs drugs for an injury, but there's no explanation or exploration of the cause of this supposed injury. His explanation in that scene felt more like a reaction to being caught taking drugs than a real answer. Again, from what I remember, he starts taking drugs and we as the audience just have to accept it without much context. This is a 3-hour and 35-minute film, and there's a 15-minute intermission. Not sure it needed that, but that was an interesting choice. This is the second film that I've seen that incorporated a 15-minute intermission. The other was the Robert Rodriguez and Quentin Tarantino double feature known as Grindhouse. Grindhouse consists of Planet Terror by Robert Rodriguez and Death Proof by Quentin Tarantino. Overall, the movie is okay for the most part, but often fails to connect emotionally, but it may be worth watching. If you stuck around this long, why not give the video a like, try it out, see if it works, subscribe, check out my other videos, leave a comment, let me know what you think of the film. See you in the next review.